Okay, so let's say SAP R by 3. What is R? Who will tell me what is R?
Real data.
Real time data exchange. Yes, R means real time data exchange. And what is 3?
Between three layers.
3-tier architecture. Okay,
Three times.
3-tier architecture. Okay, 3-tier architecture. So now let's understand. So this is what 3-tier architecture. Let me draw it for you. The first layer that we have is presentation layer. Okay, the first layer we have is presentation layer, and then the next layer we have is application layer. Okay, and the last layer that we have is database layer. Okay, so these are the 3 layers we have: application layer, database layer, and presentation layer, right? So now what is the use of each layer? Let's understand. Before that, let me just change this. Okay, so now each layers are connected. How? Through internet. Okay, each layers is connected through internet. That means the presentation layer can talk to application layer, and then the application layer can talk to database layer, and then the presentation layer cannot talk to database layer directly. Okay, it can only talk to the application layer. From application layer you can talk to the database layer. Okay, so that's how it is. So now what is presentation layer? What we use it as presentation layer, and why the presentation layer is required? Okay, so presentation layer is used to let's say this is a user. Okay, so he has to send a request, right? He has to send a request, or he has to make any request. That means he has to request for some data, or he has to request, or he does some action here. Okay, you may have some buttons kind of things here. Okay, so you'll have buttons and all maybe here. Here you'll have some buttons. When user click on this button, okay, when he execute anything from here, the request will be sent to the application layer. Okay, the application layer will check what kind of request he made. Does data is required from the database? If data is required from the database, then the data will be stored in the database tables. In the DB we have something called tables. The data will be stored in the table. If any select query has been written here, then the request will go to the database. Okay, and from here it will fetch the data to the application layer, and then again you will process something here. You might have written some more logic, and after that it will be displayed to the presentation layer to the user. Okay, finally it is used mostly for displaying the data and also sending requests to the application layer. User cannot directly talk to application layer. It is not possible, right? You should have something like interface between the application layer and application layer and user, that is the presentation layer. Okay, so what we use here is SAP GUI. Okay, so what we use as a presentation layer is SAP GUI. What is the full form of GUI? Graphical user interface. This is the full form of graphical user interface. Okay, presentation layer is nothing but graphical user interface. Okay, this is what we use as a presentation layer. This is how it looks like to you. How to install and all, don't worry, we will discuss that later point of time. So this is how it looks like. Okay, let's say for example I will log into the system and see, oh yeah, no worries, I'll get this. Don't know why. Oh, I think I have to contact the server provider. So this is how the presentation will look like. I'll get it before tomorrow's class. Okay, so don't have to worry. So now you see, this is how it looks like, presentation layer, and there are so many other things. You enter some data and then also your user ID and password, and then you click enter, it will take you. Okay, clicking enter is also an action. Okay, whenever you click enter, it is checking whether my user ID is in a valid date or not. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, it is connecting to the database, and in the database the data is being stored, user details. So it is checking it is fetching the data. In application layer, it is checking the user data is valid or not. Okay, so that is what presentation layer. You interact with the database layer via presentation layer. Are we clear? Anybody, any doubts? What is presentation layer?
No.
No doubts? Okay. So now there are three types of presentation layers. Okay, so one is SAP GUI for Windows. 90% of the time, most of the people will be using this SAP GUI for Windows. And then we have SAP GUI for Java. That means for the Mac system, right? Apple systems or the Mac system, we have SAP GUI for Java, and SAP GUI for HTML. This is for a browser. Okay, if anybody wants to access application through the browser, then they can use SAP GUI for HTML. Okay, so these are the three types of GUI we have. In our case, we'll be using the first one, SAP GUI for Windows, because we have Windows system, right? This is the Windows system I'm using, so I have to use SAP GUI for Windows. Okay, these are three types. And then the latest version of SAP GUI is SAP GUI 7.70. This is the latest version of SAP GUI. Okay, so we will see that as well. Okay, how to install it and where to download it. Maybe I can show you the screenshot where to download. Maybe I won't be able to show that in the system, because to download SAP GUI you should have something called user ID. Okay, that is SAP Service Marketplace user ID. Not everybody will have it. Okay, so mostly some companies who are working in company, they might provide it to you if you're working in any company, or that's how it is. Okay, or if you have taken SAP certification, then you may also get user ID. Otherwise you will not get user IDs. Okay, you cannot access the service marketplace directly without the user ID. So but I'll show you. Okay, don't worry, you don't have to worry. Otherwise I'll also give you the link to the GUI 7.70 so that you can download that. Okay, so we'll see that later. Okay, that is what presentation layer. Basically it is an interface between the application layer and the user. Okay, it helps the user to communicate or make any request to the application layer. Okay, so application layer, if you want to consider it in simple words, let's say presentation layer is like your desktop, and application layer is like your CPU, like brain for the computer, and then the database layer is like your hard disk. Okay, so that's how it will be. Okay, or you can also take it as RAM. Okay, RAM, right? So volatile memory, so you can also consider it as RAM. So what application layer does, okay, what is the purpose of application layer? So basically application layer will run, okay, it will run ABAP programs, or it will execute ABAP programs. This is what application layer will do. Okay, application layer will execute, okay, to it, or it will run the ABAP programs. Okay, so it will run the ABAP programs. Okay, so that's what application layer will do. And then there are other components in application layer. Let's understand. Okay, I'll just take one more picture inside this application layer. I'll tell you why I'm doing this, you'll understand. So let's say okay, so this is one more, and then okay, so this has some more components. Okay, let's say one component is very important. Components are like dispatchers. Okay, this is the dispatcher, and then under this there are also some work processors. What a work processor we will understand, don't worry. So like we have Dialog work processor, we have background work processor, then we have update work processor, then we have spool work processor. Okay, we have different types of work processors. Okay, so now what is work processor and then what is dispatcher? Let's understand. Very important, guys, very important. So in a simple word, just to give an example, like let's say you're working in a company, and then you will have like managers and team leads, correct? Let's take a manager, right? So what manager will do in company? Under manager there will be so many employees also will be working, right? There are other employees also will be working. So what manager will do? Anybody? He will manage the resources, right? Like which resource should do which work and all, right? So basically he assign the work to the work processors, correct? Sorry, he will assign the work to the employees who is working under him, right? He will assign the task to the employees. That's what manager will do, right? If it is still confusing you, let me just picturize it again. So let's say this is a manager, okay, and this manager, under this manager there will be so many people who will be working. Okay, let's take 3. Okay, so Okay, so these are the peoples who are working under manager, right? So what manager will do now? He will get some work, right? He want his work to be done, so he will tell the employees who is working under him, I will just assign the work, different work to the different peoples, and he will get it done. That's what he will do basically, or your team leads or your managers, right everyone? Yes or no, please? Hello,
Yes.
everyone? Everyone understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what is dispatcher then? Dispatcher is like manager, guys, and the work processors are like the employees who is working under him. Okay, just to make it more clear to you. So like manager assign the work to the employees who is working under him, and dispatcher will also do the same. It will assign the different kind of work to the different work processors. Okay, it will assign the work to the different work processor. Understood? Understood or not?
Yes. Yes.
Hello, all of you understood or not? It's very
Yes.
important.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, can I get S from everybody?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, very good. So now
Yes.
let's
Yes.
also write it, okay, one by one. uh, the dispatcher, right? Dispatcher. So what the role of dispatcher, let's say, is to assign the work to work processor. That is the role of the dispatcher. The role of dispatcher is to assign the work to the work processors. Okay, and what are work processors now? Okay, what are work processors? Work processor will execute the task. Okay, they will execute the task, or they will execute the ABAP program, and send the result back to presentation layer. Okay, whatever the result it is, okay, they will execute the task, and then whatever the result that comes from that task, they are going to send that result to the presentation layer. This is what the difference between work processor and dispatcher. This is what the difference between work processor and dispatcher. Work processor is like manager who will assign the work. Dispatcher is like manager who will assign the work, and work processor are like employees who will execute that task, or who will perform that task. Okay, so then we have different types of work processor. There are 4 different types of work processor. Dialog work processor. Okay, so background work processor, update work processor, then spool work processor. Okay, dialog work processor, background work processor, update work processor, and then spool work processor. These are the different types of work processors we have. So now what dialog work processors will do? Okay, so now let's say for an example, you want to execute the program now. Okay, it would have been more better if I can connect to system, but I'm not able to. But don't worry, so we can do something, and then you will get to know that. Okay, let's say for an example, you want to execute a program. The moment you execute, you want to see the result in front of you. The moment you now you execute the program, and then now itself you want to see that result. Okay, that kind of programs, the dispatcher will assign it to the dialog work processor. Understood? Understood. Okay, let me picturize that also for you. Let's say this is a ABAP program that you're going to execute now. Okay, so maybe the report, I can say the moment you execute this program, it also produces the output right in front of you. It also produces the output. Those kind of programs will be executed in the dialog work processor, or those kind of programs will be assigned to the dialog work processor. Understood, guys? What is dialog work processor?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, all of you, some of
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yeah.
Some of you are not even saying yes or no.
I did not understood.
Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah. So let's say, who is this? Did not understood. Ashita.
Aishwarya.
Aishwarya. Okay, one minute, please. 1 minute. So now, let's say, Aishwarya, right? You have a mobile, right? You will send messages to your friend, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now you send a message, and your friend will receive the moment you send it, right?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you also want to do, like, you want to schedule that in a background. That means, let's say, maybe you want to wish for a birthday, and then you want that message to be sent at 12 o'clock in the morning, 12 a.m. in the morning, right? So but not now. You have kept everything ready, but you don't have to send it right now because you may sleep, and then you want mobile to handle that, to be sent at 12 o'clock. Other message which you want to send, the moment you click on the button, you want to send it to your friend. That means that kind of thing can be handled by dialog work processor. Okay, and one more thing is that you want to send that message at 12 o'clock. You want the system to handle it. Okay, just have typed everything and you have kept ready, and you have scheduled it to send it at 12 o'clock. Understood? That can be handled
Yes.
by background work processor. Okay, don't think that message, we are not going to send any message.
Okay, sir.
I'm just giving an example just to make sure you understand. Okay,
Okay, sir.
anyways, we will understand this again when in upcoming topics, but today to execute, I don't know, I think my user account is not in valid date. I might have to uh, get this over again, so I think I have not checked yesterday since I went to office, so that's fine. I'll show it to you in the next class or in some other days. Okay, we'll understand about that as well. Okay, now it is clear, right, what dialog work processor will do.
Yes, sir.
We execute and program, and then the moment you also expect the result to be shown in front of you right away, right after the right after execution of the program. Okay, so that's when the dialog work processors will that's when the dispatcher will assign the work to the dialog work processor. Okay, so let's say it handles the dialog request. Okay, let's say it handles the dialog request. Okay, so user wants to see the output right after execution execution of program. Okay, user want to see the output of that program right after execution. In front of them, they want to see the output. That's when dialog work processor comes into picture. Now, what is background work processor? Okay, so it handles the background jobs. Okay, so let's say for an example, so everybody using mobile phones, right? So nowadays you also receive messages from companies, from your network company saying that your offer is going to expire in another 5 days, please recharge. Yes, everybody experienced it, right?
Yes, sir.
So do you think anybody sitting behind and sending those messages to the millions of customers?
No.
No, right? Do you think any person will check?
No.
Right? So there are so many millions of customers using the retail, right? So sorry, the network. So companies cannot go and send messages or check everyone's offer date and send messages to everybody, right? Because human cannot handle that millions of customer. How do they check each and every customer's validity data, and then they have to hire so many peoples to do that, correct? So otherwise what we can have is like one program, we can schedule it in a background mode that runs every day and picks up the usernames who are offer later, or sorry, who are offers is going to expire in another 5 days or 3 days or 2 days, and send messages to them saying that your offer is going to expire, please recharge, right? Automatically the program should handle without any user interaction. Initially the user will schedule the program, but later point of time the program takes care of executing whatever the task that user has been, or whatever the task that program has to do. Those kind of programs, that means the programs which runs in a background mode, like every day or every hour or every month, or else let's say one program should run every month end, and then that program should credit the salaries to the employees, right? Or month ends or yearly, or one program should run every 5 minutes, right? And then it should pick up the file from a different system, right? Something like that. Those kind of programs can be scheduled in a background job, and they will execute every day or hour, something like that, and then does whatever the task it has to be, right? Those kind of tasks will be executed, or the dispatcher will assign those kind of tasks to the background work processor. Are we clear? Anybody, any doubts so far?
No, sir. It's clear.
It's clear. Okay, so let's say program should run every day, every day, and send messages to the user or to the customer whose offer going to expire in 5 days. Okay, whose offer is going to expire in 5 days. Okay, whose offer is going to expire in 5 days. Okay, that is what background work processor will do. Next is update work processor. Okay, so in the database we have something called tables. What tables will do, we will understand more about tables also in the data dictionary chapter. Okay, just to make you understand the things, the tables are basically used to store the data in the database, right? If you have to store the data in the database, the table will be used to store the data in a row and column manner. Okay, so the records or some data will be stored in the database like this. Okay, so to update the database table, we have something called update function models. Okay, so it will insert the data to the table like this, or it will modify the data of an table, or it deletes the data of an table. It basically do some update activity. Okay, so those kind of function models or those kind of programs will be executed using update work processor. Understood? If you want to delete the data from the database table, or insert the data to the database table, or modify or update the existing row, those kind of task will be taken care by update work processor. Are we clear on this, guys? Understood everyone? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Update function model insert or delete or update or modify. Okay, update function model will do this. Okay, update function models will basically use to insert, delete or update the data of the database table. Okay, these update function models, okay, will be executed in update work processors. Okay, update work processors. Okay, all this I'll show you in the system, the tomorrow's class. Okay, I'll get the system by tomorrow. I'll show you. So next is spool. Okay, so let's say you want to print something from SAP system. You want to take a print out of the form, or you want to take some print out of the report. Okay, those kind of print job will be taken care by spool work processor. Understood? Whenever you click on the print button in SAP system, it creates the spool request. Okay, that spool request will be executed using the spool work processor. Okay, it handles the spool request. Understood or not? What spool request will do, guys? Are we clear on this? Hello?
So I did not understood.
Okay, so I don't know why that is not inserted. One more time. Let me try inserting printer icon. Just tick. Okay, and with that I'll also take one printer. Let's see now. Oh, okay, only one got inserted. Okay, so you have an icon called printer icon in SAP GUI. Okay, let's say this is your SAP GUI. Okay, this is your SAP GUI. Okay, and then you have executed a program, and that is an letter, maybe some letter generation program you have executed. Okay, so this is a letter actually. Okay, some kind of letter. Okay, some kind of PDF document, or let's consider it is as a letter. This is the printer icon you have in SAP GUI, right? So one more time, just want to insert a picture. Let's try again, printer. And let's try to insert this. I don't know, there's a problem with import, I guess, so I can try one more thing. For there should be option to insert icons, but it is not available. Okay, no problem. So let's say I'll just take this one only. So this is your printer. Okay, so now you want to print this letter, whatever the output that you have got, you want to print this letter. So when you click on this icon, print icon, okay, so what SAP system will do, it will generate some number, random number, some ID, like let's call it as 1234. Okay, so let's call this as 1234. Okay, let's call this as 1234. It has generated an ID. Whenever you click on this icon, to have a unique number or unique ID or unique printing of this letter, it will generate a number like this 123 number. We call this number as a spool request number. Okay, so this spool request number, the ID will be used to print the data or print the letter that you have displayed here. Understood now?
Yes.
Understood? Spool request is something, some random number generated by system, just like unique ID, okay, to have or to get the printer, right? So many people will be sending print requests to the printers, correct?
Yes.
It should have unique ID, right? Every user should have its own unique ID. So that is the unique ID generated, that is the spool number. That spool number is used to display or handle the printing. Okay, that's what the use of spool work processor. Clear everyone? Any doubts?
Yeah. So Rajni, so after this again we have to go to particular T code to print out, right? Using this unique number.
No, it takes care automatically, or it also generate the spool. You have to go to SP01 and then if you want to print again you can do it, but SAP is
Get the okay same that means same time it will create the unique number and you will get the printout. You mean
yes,
to say,
print
right?
out also, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's what spool request will do. Okay, so now we can see that even when we discuss on the smartphones. Okay, so that is even far away, and this is what we have. This is one applications of a component. So now we have some more components like message server. So you have something called message server, then you have, what is message server now? Okay, before going to the next component, what is message server? Okay, what is the use of message server? Let's understand. So let's say let's consider simple example just to make you understand. Let's say you have a mobile of 6 GB or 2 GB of RAM. Okay, you want to play PUBG, but PUBG requires, everybody knows PUBG, right? PUBG requires 6 GB of RAM. So if you try to play in 2 GB RAM mobile, but PUBG requires 6 GB, what happens? Will it be playable or it will start hanging?
Yeah, it won't support.
It
It will
won't
start
support,
hanging.
right? It will, even if you can play it, the game will be too slow. It will start hanging sometimes it will not work, something like that will happen, right? Right guys?
Yep.
So in that case you need 6 GB of RAM, right? That's how it works. Okay, now let's say for example the capacity of this server you have is only 100 users this server can handle. Just an example or number I'm taking. But if thousands or 500 users are connecting to the same server, what happens? And 500 users connecting and executing 500 programs, we should have the resource to execute the programs, right? We don't have that much, right? The capacity of this system is to only handle 100 users, but 500 users are connecting. What happens then? It becomes slow, right? It becomes slow, right? So then if company wants to have the better performance, they can also add another additional server to it. Okay, they now 200 people can connect. If another 300 means 3 servers they can add, or another 1 server, something like that they can add. Understood? If
Yes.
company maintaining multiple servers within one application layer, what if the request that is being sent from the presentation layer, how that will be distributed, whether this application server should execute or either this application server should execute, how the load balancing will happen, right? System should balance the load, right? Both should handle the same kind of load, right? One is busy, then the work should be assigned to other work processor. That's why we have multiple. Do you agree guys?
Yes.
That kind of load balancing will be taken care by message server. It should assign it to the this work processor, or it should assign it to the or this work processor. This kind of thing should be taken care by message server. We call it as load balancing. Okay, in simple word, I just want to make it more simple for you. Let's say message server. Okay, so message server, or it will help to communicate with different application server. Okay, or simply we call it as load balancing. Understood what is message server? Still not understood?
Yes, sir.
No? Yes or no, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now then the next component that you will have is ICM. Okay, Internet Communication Manager. So you have SAP GUI for HTML, right? If any request coming from the browser, that is HTML request, that will be handled using ICM. Okay, that will be handled using ICM, Internet Communication Manager. The name itself suggests ICM means Internet Communication Manager. Okay, so it handles HTTP or HTTPS request. Okay, request that made through browser. Okay, it handles HTTP or HTTPS request that is made through browser. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, and then we also have one more component called Enqueue server. Maybe I cannot show you now. I will tell you about Enqueue server later. I'll just write it as of now because system is required. Maybe I'll show it to you in tomorrow's class. Enqueue server. Okay, so then we will see about the Enqueue server in the next class. Okay, then we have one more called gateway server. Okay, otherwise I can just say what Enqueue server does. Okay, let's consider some document. Okay, some sales document. Okay, so only one user should be able to edit that document, right? If other users try to edit, or if multiple users try to edit the same sales document, then it should not allow. Correct, guys? Because one person update the quantity as 10 and the other person update quantity as 20, and both save at the same time. Which request the system should consider? Even if system considers one person request, other person start thinking that the system is not working. Correct? Right? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, but I have one doubt.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it will allow to change for 2 person, because it may tell now that this screen is locked by this person, something like that.
Same document cannot be edited, not the screen, actually the document. Okay, multiple user can access the same screen, but the document, the number we will have, right, sales document, the unique ID, correct? So that cannot be edited by multiple person. The moment they started editing, one person started editing, other person should get an error message saying that this has been locked by different user, something like that, right? That kind of locking mechanism will be taken care by Enqueue server. Understood? Are we clear on this?
Yeah.
Okay, So we will see that in the system tomorrow. Manages application logs. It manages the application logs. Okay, in simple word we can say, for an example, multiple users, it will multiple users should not edit the same sale document. Okay, same sale document should not be edited by multiple users. Okay, then we also have another one, gateway server. Okay, I have very good example for gateway server, I'll show you. Okay, so gateway server enables the communication with external system using remote, or else let's say trusted remote connection. If there is a trusted remote connection in the system, then it enables the communication between different server. Okay, trusted remote connection. Okay, let's take a simple example. Okay, so don't know whether I will be able to insert the picture or not. Let me just try it. Just have try. Let's take one image from here. Okay, this looks nice. Let's take this one, even this also. Hope I'll not get the error. At least one. Okay, yeah, it's downloaded. Maybe I'll just take this one. So now let's say guys, this is your house, correct? And then you also have gate. So do you open gate every time and then allow whoever walk in the road, will you allow them to come inside your house and play in the ground that you have in front of your house, or you always close the door for them?
They will always close the door.
Right,
So
only for the
required,
people you are aware, that means your relations or friends, for them only you will open the gate. Otherwise you don't open it, right? For everybody you cannot open any gate for unknown person. You don't know what they're going to do after coming inside your home, right? Understood guys?
Yes. Yes.
So same thing, if user or different server has to access the data from the database, external system, not this system, other system, then gateway server will check whether that connection, whatever the connection that is been created to the system, that is trusted or not, whether already maintained in the system or not. If it is not, then it will not allow to get the data. If it is, then it will allow whatever they want to do. Okay, that is what gateway server is going to do. Understood? Understood guys? Hello?
Yes.
Everyone? Anybody, any doubts so far? Till now, in the application server components, any doubts?
No.
No? Okay, good. And the last one is database. Okay, database mainly used for mainly used to store the data. Okay, database store the data permanently. Okay, so you will have multiple databases like this. Okay, even there will be also one more component like RDBMS, relation database management. So this RDBMS will helps to connect to the different tables via foreign key relationship. Okay, it helps to connect the different database We have foreign key relationship. That is what RDBMS. We also have something called RDBMS. It helps to connect different tables. Okay, it creates a relationship between different tables. Okay, we will also see that in the data dictionary chapter. So that's all guys for today. If anybody has any doubts so far, you can ask me. Anybody any doubts till now?
We're good.
Everyone? Okay. Okay then guys, that's all for today.